programming example, the game of rock, paper, and scissors. This game has 2 players. Each player must choose one of the 3 objects, rock, paper, or scissors. This table shows the possible outcomes of the game, rock beats scissors, scissor beats paper, and paper beats rock. You must write an interactive program that allows 2 people to play this game. The program has 2 inputs. First, the user's response when asked to play the game, and second, the player's choices. The program also has 2 outputs. The program should echo the player's choices and display the winner of each play. When the users no longer want to play the game, the program should display the total number of plays and the number of times that each player won. The discussion translates into the following algorithm. Provide a brief explanation of the game and how it is played. Ask the users if they want to play the game. Get plays for both players. If the plays are valid, output the plays and the winner. Update the total game count and winner count. Repeat the procedure as long as the users agree to play the game. When the users no longer want to play the game, output the number of plays and the number of times that each player won. The program uses the following enumeration type to describe the objects. The program will use the following variables. The variable game count stores the number of games played. Win count 1 stores the total number of times player 1 won the game. And win count 2 stores the total number of times player 2 won the game. Game winner stores the winner of the current game. Response stores the player's response when asked if they want to play the game. Selection 1 stores the selection R, P, or S made by player 1. And selection 2 stores the selection made by player 2. Play 1 stores the corresponding object, rock, paper, or scissors, selected by player 1. Play 2 stores the object selected by player 2. The program will use the following functions: display rules, valid selection, retrieve play, game result, convert enum, winning object, and display results. Next, we describe these functions. We start with the function display rules. This function has no parameters. It consists only of output statements to explain the game and rules of play. Next, we will type in the definition of the function valid selection. This function checks whether a player's selection is valid. If selection is uppercase R or lowercase r, uppercase P or lowercase p, uppercase S or lowercase s, then it is a valid selection, otherwise the selection is invalid. This function has thus one parameter of type char. Next, we will type in the function definition for the function retrieve play. Because the enumeration type cannot be read directly, this function converts the entered choice, uppercase R, lowercase r, uppercase P, lowercase p, uppercase S, or lowercase s, and returns the appropriate object type. This function thus has one parameter of type char. It is a value returning function, and it returns a value of type object type. Next, we will type in the function definition for game result. This function decides whether a game is a tie or which player is the winner. It outputs a player's selections and the winner of the game. Clearly, this function has 3 parameters: player 1's choice, player 2's choice, and a parameter to return the winner. If player 1 and player 2 enters the same selection, then this is a tie game, else the winning object is determined. Each player's choice is displayed, the winning player is determined in output, and the winning player is returned via the reference parameter winner so that the winning player's winning count can be updated. Next, we will type in the function definition for convert enum. Because enumeration types cannot be output directly, the function convert enum converts and outputs the string that corresponds to the object. This function has one parameter, which specifies the object to be output. We will use a switch statement to output the object. Next, we type in the function definition for winning object. To determine the winning object, you look at the player's selections and then at the rules of the game. For example, if one player chooses scissors and the other chooses rock, the player who chose rock wins this play. The function winning object, given two objects, decides and returns the winning object. Clearly, this function has two parameters of type object type, and the value returned by this function is also of type object type. Next, we will type in the definition of the function display result. After the game is over, this function outputs the final results, that is, the total number of plays and the number of plays won by each player. The total number of plays is stored in the variable game count. The number of plays won by player 1 is stored in the variable win count 1, and the number of plays won by player 2 is stored in the variable win count 2. This function has three parameters corresponding to these three variables. Now that the problem has been analyzed, we can describe the main function together with complete program listing. We will use enumeration types to describe objects. The program will use the following functions: display rules, retrieve play, valid selection, convert enum, winning object, game result, and display results. The body of the main function starts here. As discussed earlier, the main program uses the variables game count, win count 1, win count 2, game winner, response, selection 1, selection 2, play 1, and play 2. Initialize the variables game count, win count 1, and win count 2. Call the function display rules. The player is prompted to enter his or her response. If response is yes, the body of the while loop starts here. Prompt player 1 to enter his or her choice. Prompt player 2 to enter his or her choice. The body of the if statement starts here. Call function retrieve play to convert player 1 selection to the appropriate object and store the object in the variable play 1. Call function retrieve play to convert player 2's selection to the appropriate object and store the object in the variable play 2. Increment game count by 1. The function game result is called to display player 1 and player 2's selections and the winner. Win count 1 is incremented by 1 if player 1 wins, and win count 2 is incremented by 1 if player 2 wins. The players are prompted to enter their response whether they want to play the game again. The function display results is called to display the number of times the game is played, and the total number of times player 1 and player 2 wins. Place the function definitions for display rules. Valid selection, retrieve play, game result, convert enum, winning object, display results.